Y'all know what it is, man. It's your boy Joe Boss in the building, man. Let me tell y'all, it's officially going down. And listen, I'm ready to rock out with y'all on this episode, man. I got the squad with me. I got my man, none other than DJ Lost and Found. What's good, homie? How you doing?
Yes, sir, I'm chilling, bro. I'm chilling. How you?
Good, good, good.
All
Ready to
right.
rock out on this episode.
Yes, sir.
Also, we got DJ Mr. C in the building. You know what I mean? I think we the only radio show with two DJs, and they both fire. Listen,
Appreciate it.
that's what you call double blessings right there. You know what I mean? That's double portion of the blessings. Praise the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Hallelujah.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate you, man. Hey, it's good. It's good to be back on with the crew, with the fellas. Looking to bless somebody and just talk this thing out.
Praise God.
Man, listen. It's fitting to go down on this episode. We got a lot to discuss, family. Um, Make sure that y'all, first before anything, make sure y'all go share the stream. Make sure y'all go follow us at Rise Up Worldwide everywhere. Not everywhere, but everywhere. Okay? Make sure you go on YouTube. Make sure you go on Facebook. Make sure you go on Twitter and share the show, because guess what, you're not only blessing yourself, but you're going to bless other people by being a part of what we're doing and how we rocking out. All right, so please make sure y'all go and do that. A to the sap. Also, please show some support, man. Just show some support any way you can. If you want to support us financially, you can definitely do so by doing so. Sending us a cash app at Joe Boss Radio. It will go towards the mission of doing what we got to do here on this show. It will go towards the services that we use to broadcast. And until then, let's get started, man. So this episode, we are going to be addressing Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, as they call him, the current and former head coach of Jackson State University football team. Also an NFL legend, um, Deion Sanders, man. Too, you know what I mean? He was. I think he's one of the last people to play two sports, actually, because he was an NFL player and a Major League Baseball player. But of course, he's more known for being in the NFL. Um, he did a lot of great things at Jackson State, but he is now departing and heading on to Colorado State. Some
Mm-hmm.
people have, some people feel great about it. Some people not so much. In fact, the consensus is not so much. A lot of people are calling him a sellout. So we're going to discuss that. We're also going to discuss the arrest made in the Shanquella Robinson case. Um, finally, some people got arrested. It took social media to call people to action and hold people accountable for it to happen. Um, and we're going to be talking about Kanye West again. I feel like he's on our mind every week for doing something wild. I feel like that. And if I'm
Mm-hmm.
wrong, listen, LNF. If I'm wrong, let me know, bro.
Wow. That's how you feel about me, huh?
Nah, not about you in particular. You know what I'm saying? But if we bringing him up a little too much, maybe we are doing exactly what he wants us to do.
I love talking about Kanye. I ain't gonna lie. I love talking about Kanye.
Listen, it's something to consider. It's
Mm-hmm.
definitely something to consider. Um, and we're gonna go from there, man. Listen, we got more topics on top of that. Kanye was talking about Adolf Hitler in a positive light. Didn't expect to hear that, but it did happen. So it is what it is, right? And lastly, we're gonna get into some middle school students in California who overdosed, which was a little crazy. Like you might hear about that in high school, even college, but middle school, you're talking about sixth graders up to eighth graders, in some states ninth graders. It's crazy, crazy, man. So we got a great episode. Listen, LNF is holding us down on the music this episode. and I'm really, really excited, man. So, before we get into the music, man, I just want to ask you guys, like, did you anything great happen for y'all this weekend? Anything bad happen? Because I got a story to tell, but I want to hear from y'all first.
Mm. I started off. I mean, man, something great. Finished the project at work that I've been working on for it seems like weeks now. And actually, it's been the past month. Working late nights. You know what I mean, talking about 2 a.m. I did an all nighter a couple nights ago, just to
Mm,
get this thing done and to the client. So praise God that that's done. The weight is off my back, off my shoulders. So yeah, that's the great thing for me this week. I gotta say that.
okay, okay, great. I'm glad finishing things up, man, is a big deal.
Right, right.
Mr. C.
Oh man, it's my time. Like this is a busy time for me. This go around this season because I'm in the middle of preparing for the top 40 countdown and
Uh huh.
yeah, man, Mr. C's top 40 countdown and I ain't gonna get into the details. I don't want to disrespect this platform, but it's gonna be airing on a certain platform December the 28th to 31st, and getting the artists together, doing all the administrative stuff in the middle of that, and I just love celebrating urban gospel music, man. This is especially the independent artists who often get overlooked. That's just always my mission to make sure that they're loved and they're appreciated from
Mm.
where I sit. So yeah, man. So I'm just in the middle of that right now and doing the administrative stuff. My work ain't done. Just getting started.
Amen.
Right, right.
Listen,
Yeah,
amen, bro. We appreciate what you're doing, man. Um,
no problem.
you're doing big things. You know what I'm saying? We definitely want to acknowledge that, man. It's
Hmm.
great to always have an award winning radio host, a part of the team. You know what I'm saying?
Amen. Amen. To God be the
And let
glory,
people
man.
know
And
what was the award that you won back in the day. I let people
um,
know.
oh, 2017. I was the first internet radio announcer. In that category, internet radio announcer of the year. On the Spin Award platform. I believe they're 6 years running now on that platform, but that was 2017. That was the inaugural year, and I was
Mm,
basically the first one to win in that category. So
that's what's up, man. That's
to
big.
get rewarded.
Listen,
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Absolutely.
and that's big that you did that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, shout out to
Spin Awards is
Minstrel
up there.
Appointed. Yeah, down in the A. She's the founding mother of the Spin Award platform. And they're doing
okay, great, great.
Mhm.
Listen, for myself, man, y'all keep me and my family in prayer. Our basement was flooded out this week from a water heater that went bad.
Yeah.
We got a ton of personal property that was damaged and pretty much destroyed. Praise God that we had homeowners insurance and we had a great policy because they're covering everything that's lost and they're also covering the the remediation, which for those of you that don't know, that's where they come in and remove all the damaged materials. They hire a company to come and basically clean up the water and anything that was damaged. They also are paying for the rehab, which is the rehabilitation or the rebuild of the basement. So praise God, we finna get a new basement.
So finished
uh,
basement then.
Oh,
for the most part, I mean, they don't like the basement was already partially finished.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so what they do with the rehabilitation is they only bring it back to where it was. They don't do,
Uh,
what I mean? They bring it back to what it was to be equal to what it was. They don't like upgrade you per se.
right, right, right.
They just take you back to the level that you were.
Hmm.
Now, if we pay them extra, you know, they'll do whatever we ask. The construction company, they're not gonna turn down no money.
Hmm.
So we're just looking at this as an opportunity to finish out the basement or at least open it up a little more. So
Yeah.
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 So praise God if everything works out well. We'll be adding a bathroom down there and growing, you know. So
Studio. You know.
right, exactly, exactly. You know,
so it
and
looks
then
it looks like you'll be seeing me like right in that space where the E is. You'll be seeing me right. When everything is finished, from time to time you'll be seeing me Right in the same shot as Joe Boss.
I know that's right.
I'm messing with you,
The,
man.
the mix is
Nah,
over
listen,
there. The mix is
listen.
there.
We'll make it work. We'll
You
make it
know.
work. I got multiple microphones anyway.
Hmm.
DJ Lost and Found left us and blessed us with a mixer that I
Yep.
have no idea how to use. But hey, we'll praise the Lord that God will open up my creative ability, and then I'll be DJ Joe Boss. You know what I mean?
Yo, let's get it.
Three
And then
DJs in the
Let's get
crowd. I
it.
don't know.
three DJs is crowd.
Well, we will get together and work that in. We will get together and work that in at some point.
Two's company, three's a crowd.
Three's a
I got
crowd,
it.
right?
I got it. I got it. In other words, don't be doing what you do. Stay to my lane. Huh?
Respectfully,
I see. Listen, I see how DJ Lost and Found do, man. You know what I mean?
you know.
But it's all right. It's all right. So, in any case, Eleanor, can you get us ready with some music, bro, and get us started off right before we jump into these topics?
Absolutely, man. We're gonna be rocking with some D Black. He just dropped a album, but I know he dropped a couple of singles before that. So we're gonna rock with some D Black, and then we'll get into some Legion. So right here on Rise Up Worldwide.
Let's do it.
Life, what defines yours? God designed mine, homie, who designed yours? Walking into heaven on these Louboutin floors. Still going up like Lamborghini doors. Choices, you decide yours. Doors never open unless you apply force. Always saw myself in the Porsche, and we still going up like Lamborghini doors.
We going up like smoke from the ashes. Never moving horizontally with the masses. Cause that can have you horizontally in a casket. One shot at life like Jordan, don't pass it. On the road of life like a foreign, don't crash it. The cost is drastic, the loss is massive. Of course this passion never costs with passing. The last is first when you come from the dirt, knowing your worth never measured accurately. I'm happy to be where I'm at, but still move like I lack it in me. Rapping to free the ones who held captive and be the example, be a candle. Like the dark when life blitz, you gotta scramble. Like the spark when cards dealt, you gotta gamble. Life is hard, but death much worse. If you blessed, that's first. Number two, cause the blessing. Three, you gotta let it in your life.
What defines yours? God designed mine, homie, who designed yours? Walking into heaven on these Louboutin floors. Still going up like Lamborghini doors. Choices, you decide yours. Doors never open unless you apply force. Always saw myself in the Porsche, and we still going up like Lamborghini doors.
We still going up like the gas price. On the road of life, gotta check the gas light. No God to fill you up if you ask, right? Your choice, you can cry, you can laugh, right? Know the one who laugh loudest laugh last, right? When you know every day could be your last night. Gotta know life bigger than the cash, right? Where hurt people like a cash fight. We all broken, some searching, some hoping, some certain, some woken, some coping, some sleeping. Odds uneven when you live unbelieving. Giving and receiving like parallel. Receive life when I gained Christ, yet he gave it at the same time. Innocent of sin, yet convicted of the same crime. Now I got the same mind, reach soul, same grind. Look high, you can find
life. What defines yours? God designed mine, homie, who designed yours? Walking into heaven on these Louboutin floors. Still going up like Lamborghini doors. Choices, you decide yours. Doors never open unless you apply force. Always saw myself in the Porsche, and we still going up like Lamborghini doors. Life, what defines yours? God designed mine, homie, who designed yours? Walking into heaven on these Louboutin floors. Still going up like Lamborghini doors. Choices, you decide yours. Doors never open unless you apply force. Always saw myself in the Porsche, and we still going up like Lamborghini doors.
Never try and be the coolest, got a couple fans. A lot of y'all are hostage to a couple bands. To book me in the band costs a couple bands. I get it to give it, plus I got a plan. It's the time we put in, plus we all got fans. If I gotta explain that, then please put down your hand. Family man, 2 kids and a wife, and grab a dog and lamb. Love God and love people, doing all I can. Looking up to God like, please guide my hand. He grabbed me by it, said, you asked, I got the plan. Rooftop prophet, speak against the evils of man. And I get down on my knees when I got to stand. Never been too average, never been too static. I've been running plays and games, never been too passive. Saying things on tracks that'll fire off synapses. Recovery said it's too dope, it might just cause relapses. Anyway, play this in NA, success just grasp it. My initials NA, so legends NA classic. Kept that name for rapping, that decision wasn't spastic. Anderson, my last, Jesus flipped the Nigel backwards. I'm a walking testimony. Test me, homie. Get these facts quick. Destroy you on my Apple Notes. Your fan feel me like haptics. Wanna see VA redeemed. Peace to no malice. Same on the mic as when off. No need to act different. Double-minded, split when they speak. They need chapstick. Say he love God, but he say the things he hates. Why you call me Lord, then negate the things I say. Say I live religious, I just say I'm living great. I'ma run this race, I ain't trying to run in place. I'ma pack these bars up and each one I make my case. I don't need your call, I go visit fed estates, visit inmates, talking freedom that no one can take. Speak to the fatherless, tell them forgive them anyway. Tell them look at me, I made it out the pain by his grace. Speaking peace to culture, tell her reconcile her ways. She won't listen, but I'ma die saying what God said to say. Never try and be the coolest, got a couple fans. A lot of y'all are hostage to a couple bands. To book me in the band costs a couple bands. I get it to give it, plus I got a plan. It's the time that we put in, plus we all got fam. If I gotta explain that, then please put down your hand. Family man, 2 kids and a wife, and grab a dog and land. Love God and love people, doing all I can. Doing all I can.
You're now listening to the best radio station in the world. Rise Up Worldwide Radio.
All right, man. Listen. Whew. Let me tell you, that was what you call some fire music right now. What was the name of that second song, bro?
Yeah, that was Legion, All I Can. Legion,
Okay.
All I Can. Yep.
Yeah, that joint was fire, bro. Woo!
Yes,
I can't wait to go back to hear this playlist, bro. I'm looking forward to it.
Word up, I got you.
So, listen, let's jump into this. Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. Um, Listen, for those of you who don't know, Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, the head coach for Jackson State University, um, he has taken a program. He has taken black college football in general. Let's talk about that first. Taking black college football in general to another level, right? He became a huge advocate for black college football.
Hmm.
He, because of what he did by taking on a coach, taking on the job there, right? What he did was he brought a spotlight to black college football that was not there. Um, Against the Jackson State rivals, which at the time, I forget the name of their team, they sold out a stadium, 50, 60,000 people
60,000,
at
yeah.
a
Yep.
at a black college football game. That doesn't happen where they sell out like that. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, they pack out, but 60,000, you normally don't see it like that. That happened because of him. He used his platform to push it forward. He used his platform to really put that in perspective, right? And so much so that there were athletes who turned down traditional D1 scholarships to go and play for him at Jackson State. Now, here we are, 2 years later. He had an undefeated season, and he's on the verge of another. Um, and they're going to a bowl, right? Fast forward, came out this week. He is leaving the program at Jackson State University to take on a job at Colorado State University. And the internet is dragging him, to say the least.
Yep.
To say the least.
If I just may just quickly say, because it's very important that it's actually the University of Colorado. It's the difference.
Oh.
Just saying, because
Okay.
with these rivals,
Yeah.
so some Colorado State University alum was probably getting offended when you say Colorado State. That's the
You know what?
brand,
You're absolutely right.
and the University of Colorado's in bold.
No, you know what? You're absolutely right. Look,
Yeah.
somebody ain't feeling me right now because I had it wrong. That's okay.
No, it's good. It's good. We just want to just be,
No.
Right,
You know what?
the whole
That's good though. That's good to make sure. Thank you for holding me accountable. Right.
No problem. No problem. It's not about that. Just
So people said he did it for the bag, because he was going to get paid more money. Some people say that he only did what he did at JSU so that he can move to the next level. Some people feel like he's leaving the students at Jackson State University high and dry. All of that may be true. None of that may be true.
I don't know what that is.
I know that song.
World?
When it comes to the long haul,
I don't know what that is. I'm so sorry, guys. What is going on with that? Woo! Looper. Sorry. I don't know
Oh,
what
I thought you.
That was Colorado State.
That was
sorry,
good.
guys. Yeah.
That was good.
So.
Right? That was
That was
college
good.
game day, right?
That was game day. That was good.
I'm glad
Um,
nobody cursed on the song. Sorry.
So, I want to talk about it. I want to get you guys' opinion before I officially state mine. I just want to hear different trains of thoughts because I know what my initial opinion was. And now that I've had time to think about it, I've had time to see what he had to say about it. My opinion has changed. So let's talk about how do you feel about it, LNF?
You know what? I didn't see what he said, so I'm curious what he said. You know what? I'm good with it. I don't understand how you. To me, it's putting the weight of the whole entire HBCU universe on his shoulders. Like that's not that man's responsibilities to make sure that all HBCUs, are successful in the sports arena.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, he listen. Let's talk about compensation. You spoke about they sold out that arena, right? Or the bowl or whatever that they play in, 60,000. They also we didn't talk about that the city itself, Jackson. I think they brought in $30 million for like one weekend for like one game or something like that. So the amount of money that he generated,
I'm sorry, say it again.
Jackson, like the city, Jacksonville or whatever.
Yeah.
They generated about $30 million around like the surrounding businesses and like that, right? So he generated revenue just by having that game, right? He didn't see none of that coin, okay? Even though he generated it. And music, that would be royalties, okay?
Yes.
We ain't got that, in other ways. But so for me, when you think about even like his salary, I'm hearing that his salary was like $300K, and then he moved on and now he's making $5 million. I'm not mad at that man. Especially when I'm also hearing that he was paying for people salary and offering up his own money up. So how are you mad at this man? That he's maybe made a decision that you wouldn't have. So I'm good on that. And even on the end of the players, when we think about it, 97%, and I did see him say this, 97% of the players that he has on his team ain't going to the NFL. I think he can do a lot more good for when you want to say young black men, whoever, uh, that are gonna that have a better opportunity to go to the NFL and coach them on the way up, and and help them not fall for those pitfalls that are there for them. So I'm with it. I got no problem with it at all.
Okay. Okay. And what about you? What about you, Mr. C? How do you feel about it? You're on
And
mute. Oh, okay.
oh, my fault. My fault.
No,
Oh, okay.
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. No, I think in order for people to understand, I think the impact he's made. Let's look at a couple of people who's made an impact on the HBCU, front when it comes to college football. First of all, Eddie Robinson, who basically spent like 50 years coaching Grambling, and there's a stigma with a lot of people who might not understand the HBU, realm, that basically says, okay, if you go to HBC, you're not going to the NFL. Grambling has had a whole bunch of players go to the NFL. You have guys like Steve McNair, who went to a HBCU. He went to the NFL. Jerry Rice, and the list goes on. Now, if you mention other players, former players, who was the first African American quarterback to win a Super Bowl in the NFL, and coached after Eddie Robinson retired. Then now, if you look at another former great player, you have Eddie George. He's at Tennessee State. So what I'm trying to say is, on that front, you've already had a bunch of a handful of legends who's done more than their share for the HBCU as far as college football. Then Deion Sanders comes and takes it to a whole nother level. Went to Florida State as a player. Could have basically said, you know what, I'm going for the Power Five right away. He has the name to coach anywhere. He didn't have to go to Jackson State in the first place. So let's make that very clear. He goes for little to no money for him, for his level, coach the team, gets them undefeated. I don't even think Jackson State was a relative program when it comes to like getting to like SWAC championships or being the cream of the crop as college football, whether it be the MEAC or the SWAC. They weren't even a household name when it comes to college football. He made them now a household name and made them relevant. So everything he's done, he's brought attention. He's brought popularity. He's a big reason why a lot of people see it on another level to be a thing to go to historical black colleges when they see stuff like this and see activity like this on their campus. I'm not saying it wasn't cool or relevant in the first place, but he's brought more attention to the idea of people attending historical black colleges. Of course, I didn't go to HBCU, but I mean, some people probably like, yo, I'm going to HBCU because every year up here in New York, you hear about Howard Homecoming.
Right.
So, so there's certain staples that you hear about, and now he made it a thing in his own right as to why it's a good thing to go to a historical black college. Now he did what he did, and then decided to go to the University of Colorado. I don't necessarily see why people are feeling like he's a sellout. Like I said, he did not have to go to Jackson State and coach in the first place. His name and his status alone probably could even have them walk into if people are honest. But he chose to come to this school to make an impact on young men. I don't see what the issue is. Even if it's for a year, historically black colleges are, even if it's not Jackson State, they're better for him touching HBCU campus. That's what I said.
There you go. So I love both of your opinions, and I'm glad that you two are on the same side. I immediately, when I first heard about it, I was not on your side of the table because I'm thinking of it. Surprising that you and I don't agree.
So I listen. I expected you to be pro black all the way. It don't matter for no other reason. You know what I mean?
Listen,
I get you. I get you.
listen, but I didn't state my opinion first.
Mhm.
I took time to let it digest, did some research, and my opinion has evolved, right? So my first thought was, wow, you left those kids high and dry.
Mm.
That was my gut reaction. Like you spent time as a coach. You're feeding into the lives of the young kids. You convinced a lot of these kids to go from D1 programs to come to an HBCU, which is at best D2, right? And then because it's black college football, let's be honest, it's not valued the same, even if it was D2, right? Um, Secondly, you know, you leaving is going to leave such a power vacuum for whoever comes in that you're going to, you know what I mean? It's going to be a serious detriment to the program at Jackson State, right? And then I thought like, yo, you're going for the bag, right? That was my gut reaction. So just to sum it all up, I wasn't feeling it, right? If I've made that clear. Now I've had some time to think about it, had some time to digest it, and then I actually got to hear his speech to the players at Jackson State. I haven't heard the speech yet to those at Colorado State as of yet. But I will say, after I heard his speech to them, I understand why, and I understand why it's the right move. Even though I'm still not happy about it, admittedly, it is the right move, right? So his speech to his players was that the key points that I remember from the speech to his players was that one, as coaches, if you're not elevating, you're gonna get chewed up and spit out, right? I'm paraphrasing. He said it in a different way, but he said if you're not elevating and not striving to get to the next level, they're not loyal to coaches. Once they're done with you, they will fire you quickly, right? So he was like, you know, he was like, secondly, in the NFL, five black head coaches were fired in like the last 2 years, and they have not been replaced by black people. He was like, that's a problem. He was like, so me moving on to Colorado State, he was like, yeah, no, it's not a black school, but 70% of college football is by black people. He was like, so wherever I go, I'm going to be impacting black students wherever I go. He was like, and yes, Colorado is no different.
Mhm.
In doing so, it puts him in a light to shine even more to the black community and even more to those outside of our community on what we can do and possibly garner that much more help, right? Um, and yes, he is getting a bigger bag. I didn't know he was going to get paid as much as you mentioned earlier,
Yep.
but he's going to get a bigger bag because, Colorado has more money. It is a PWI, which is, for those of you that don't know, that's a term used amongst Greek organization, stands for predominantly white institution, right? So at a PWI, they generally have more funding. I'm not saying that there's anything bad, you know, but it is what it is, you know. In this country, the Caucasian demographic has more money than the African American demographic. So naturally, they would have more money to spare towards things like the athletic department and to hire a coach and pay them $5 million, right? For himself personally, he's doing the right thing for his family.
Mhm.
I don't know anybody that wouldn't take that significant of a pay raise to do something they already love doing. Like you said, he was making 300,000 or whatever
Yeah.
at Jackson State, and now he's going to go up to 5 million,
Mm-hmm.
bruh. To turn it down would have been a detriment to his family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not even covering his taxes. 300K.
No,
I mean, that you're gonna be paying now. Like, come on.
That's gas money to him, man.
Right.
That's gas
right.
money for his
Right.
live jet.
Yeah.
That's ice cream money. You want some ice cream money? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For the kids.
right.
I'm with it.
Let me take you out to eat real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Listen, so I
you know
think-
what?
And if you look at it,
Go ahead.
like,
Sidebar.
you
I want to thank my wife for sending me this breaking news. For those of you in the state of Georgia, in the Senate runoff, Raphael Warnock is the projected winner.
Is that good news?
Lost. You said, is that good news?
Is it?
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes.
I don't know.
It's better. Listen, he's better than Herschel Walker.
I don't know.
You have a lot to say, Eleanor.
No.
You
You
have a
know
lot to
what?
say about
Honestly,
saying it.
I haven't looked into the politics and the beliefs, so I can't say much. I know from what I've heard is that neither one is better than the other, is what I've heard. Now, black
Man,
folks just
yeah,
don't
let me-
like what Herschel Walker says. I don't care what he says. What's his politics? I ain't worried about what you
Listen.
say. What you doing?
No, I'm worried about all of it. I'm worried
No,
about
I'm
all of
not.
it because Herschel, I saw something just either earlier today or yesterday. Herschel Walker said, last week they called me a coon. He's like, well, I'm from the country, and if you know anything about a coon, that's one of the smartest animals on this earth. It was like, what? What are you talking about?
He said that.
He said that. It was like,
Who was calling him a coon though?
probably
who's
black
calling him a
I think
people.
it was. I think. I mean, I'm not saying I'm assuming it's right, but I thought I saw something on Pastor. Oh my God, what's his name? I'm looking at his face and I can't even say his name like that. Pastor Jamal Bryan's Instagram.
Oh,
I'm not
even
saying
worse.
he did it, but I saw it on his Instagram. Like,
Even worse. Even worse.
oh, God.
Pastor Jamal
Exactly.
Bryant.
Yeah, even worse.
Oh.
On record. On record.
The views of DJ LNF are not necessarily the views of Rise Up
Listen.
Worldwide.
Listen.
The only disposition I have is when people say, "Oh, like respectfully." In politics, we tend to say, "Well, I don't have a problem with what he says. Show me." But you ain't getting past no job interview if you say something idiotic, and at that table with the vice president and their staff interviewing you to get that big job, that 6-figure job. If you say something stupid, you ain't getting the job. It's just that simple.
You not.
So I
but
don't
Joe Biden
understand
is.
why we give a politician a pass when they say something
Yeah.
idiotic and they seem out of sync. I don't see how we give them a pass. That's just my opinion.
I mean, we
Listen,
just did.
I can
I don't want
understand.
to say it again. We just
Yeah.
did.
So we just who
I
do
know.
we
Joe
give a
Biden?
pass?
Joe Biden?
What did he say? I see.
Before that,
If you don't vote for me, you not black?
no, I get what you're saying, but
Yeah, not to you, Mr. C, but I'm just saying we as a
Yeah.
people, we gave Joe Biden that pass.
and in the country,
Let me
this
say-
country gave Donald Trump a bunch of passes.
Facts.
Absolutely.
Mr.
So
Mr.
that was
Mr.
that was a scenario of
IGTP. I'm not gonna say the term. Y'all know what it is. Y'all do the man. IGTP.
I think I know what
I
you're
don't
talking
know
about, but
that.
I'm not gonna. I think I
Oh
know.
boy, I'm not gonna say it.
listen. Let me ask you: does the phrase include curses?
Well,
A derogatory.
it's graphic. Let's put
Yeah,
it
there
that
you go.
way.
There you go. Graphic. Yeah.
As long as you're not cursing, you are free to say it here.
All the stuff he was grabbing. You know.
I grabbed the let's just say
Oh,
we're not
okay,
going.
okay,
I know it's a family oriented program, so I was trying to avoid saying it.
okay, okay. I got you. I
Yes.
got you. Listen,
Finna die
big
over
shout,
here.
big shout to Fresh Chef. Thank you for your comments about Coach Prime. Um, basically,
Ooh.
Fresh Chef said that if you hired me to cook privately and I buy the groceries, make the meal, serve the meal, you mean I gotta digest it for you too? Prime opened up the door. Listen,
Love it.
that's a great example, Fresh Chef. I appreciate you. That is a great example because that's what he did. Because of him, HBCUs were skyrocketed in the last 2 3 years to places they had not been. Because nobody on his level of celebrity per se in the football arena has done what he did. Because listen, Deion Sanders could have went somewhere else easily, right? But y'all got to realize too, his kids go to Jackson State University. Two of his sons play for Jackson State.
I think they transferred.
Shaduri, they probably going to transfer with him.
I think they
I
transferred.
mean, yeah, but
I don't doubt it.
I mean that's his sons. You know what I mean? Like you gonna father you as you know what I mean. You gonna follow your father most of the time anyway. That's just that's how that's gonna go, right?
And the number one
But
recruit left too. So
all of this happened in the last 2 days.
it happened like 5 hours after he announced it.
Which is a major change in college football. I mean, does it ever see some? Does it ever like? It never ceases to amaze me. Is what I'm trying to say. Where, like years ago, when a kid went to full scholarship athlete, they didn't like the situation. They had to sit out a year, playing the next, go there, and possibly sit out another year. They had to be redshirted. Like, take 2 steps back in order to transfer. Now, a perfect example, the University of Alabama, right? They didn't make the college playoff. They were not selected to be part of the Big Four as far as the playoff, right? I think at the minimum, I think 4 of their players are transferring because they didn't make the, I'm like, what? Well, wow. Just because you didn't make the playoff, you transferring? This is where it's at. Like,
I
yo,
get it.
college sports is so petty, And I'm not talking about Deion. I don't like the situation anymore. Coaches transfer, they go to another school. Players in the transfer portal. It is out of control. And then the NILs. So, and I'm not saying anything against it because the players deserve it. With all the jersey sales and all the stuff, they deserve those NIL deals. But it's just so different now.
Well, here's the thing. So I'm reading up on that transfer. That number one recruit is transferring with him.
Okay, I didn't know he was
That
going
makes
there, but I knew
that
he
makes
was leaving,
sense.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
He's
Yeah.
going with him.
yeah. He's a reason anyway, yeah.
Right. So he's going with him. His son is going with him, and they're expecting right now at least about 4 or 5 players that are going to be transferring with him. And his son is expected to take over as the quarterback for Colorado as well. Which his son, they said, it's been rumored that he could be up for, Heisman as well as he's doing. Which we're going to see how he fares going from HBCU to, I think, was it Pac-12? And
University of Colorado is a Pac-12. Yep.
Right. So we're going to see how he does going to a Pac-12 program, and if he still continues to put up the numbers like that, hey, he'll make it to the league for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He'll make it to the league. I hate to say it, but off of his name alone, he's going to make it to the league. Whether he produces, yeah, that's yet to be seen. But so far, at every level that they've asked him to produce at, he's done the job. So, but anyway,
And then
let's get into some music.
oh.
Go ahead, Mr. C. Finish your thought.
I'll just quickly say, from a forecasting standpoint, it's really going to get interesting with how many championships, Pac-12 championships, Coach Prime could possibly win, because USC and UCLA are moving to the Big Ten. That's another factor. So this might be a good move for them all around. Yeah.
So Mr. C is our college football whisperer, and yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, I follow it. Yeah, they're talking about that. So a lot of conference realignments and stuff like that going on. Obviously, that's been going on for like the last 10 to 15 years anyway. So on all sports.
I wish he would have went to like West Virginia University. Deion Sanders at West Virginia University. Woo-wee. But you know, one can only hope, right?
Mm-hmm. Never know.
Even better, Marshall University.
Ooh, my goodness, that's crazy. Randy Moss to be smiling from ear to ear. That would happen.
Randy Moss, Chad Pennington, Byron Leftwich, and some others too. But those are the most major, recent, notable people.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, you know, that's the school that I attended for 2 years. That for me, Marshall University was my college experience. You know, even though I graduated other places, that was my introduction to college experience. Which is why I had to leave, because I almost didn't make it out.
I can only.
On that note, let's get to some music from DJ Lost and Found. Let's get us rocking out, bro.
Sir, we're gonna play this Chris Soul Shake.
Joy in the morning, they saw me. I gave away all of my pain to get lonely. Then cut off the head of the snake, no Medusa. I emptied the clip, double back, then reloaded. I left for a couple of months, yeah. Had to get right, we connect and just focus. How can I say I've been living for him when I walk through the street? It's like nobody noticed. Hey, we going up today. He had my back from the cuff, okay. I know that he is enough, okay. There was times I tried to walk away. There by the spirit, can I get a witness? Can't chase the money, the move like a digit. I look to heaven and I see the riches, so I can't complain about who rolling with me, okay. Who am I? He just my faking at you decide. I walked the mountain, came back like a suicide. Had to put death in this space, it was doing that. I can't live for the later, I live in the moment. Shout out to me, I'm my only opponent. Was 3 to 4 D, he was steady, was on it like Conan. I'm 5 for the squad, like I'm chosen, I get it.
On my knees, got a whole lot on my plate. Calling out to the game, trying to peace, make some shit. Way too blessed, my shit. Everything in her face. My God, too great. My God, too great. Who am I? You just my faking that you decided. Walked the mountain, came back like a suicide. They put death in this space, he was doing that. I can't live for that later, I live in the moment.
Truth music, no Philly in the building. I'm sick with the penmanship influenza, but I'm on the devil is my agenda. Covered by the blood, red umbrella. Never go back, no, I won't surrender.
I'm sick with the pen, my notes are coughing and sneezing, kinda like I got a fever. Jesus the capo, I follow the leader. Yeah, just the purple and yellow by the leader. I can't even front, I was on there. Moving word from the corner. Black was hotter than a sauna. Big gun like Contra. Big time like huge clocks. Spread the word to the boondocks. My chanclas with the tube socks. In the streets with the boombox. Shooting the devil, that's 2 shots. Shot it out from the rooftops. Watching out for you ops. On my way to the top, shoot my shot, ricochet from the moon rocks. Either or, you the saved or you not at all. Died in my flesh, I'm a connoisseur. Put me to test, leave you kinda sore. I cannot lie when I rhyme on the beat. I cannot die, my father set me free. You live a lie just to get up your views. You getting evicted, your rent is overdue. Please stay in your lane. I don't mix with y'all lames. All y'all do is chase fame. End up burning in the flames. I'ma pack a scripture like I'm back in Knicks. Shoot my shot, I never miss.
You don't really wanna run with this. Never fold like contortionist. 45 by my side, I ain't talking about drunk. When I rhyme homicide, put the body in the trunk. To be the body, you kill the body, gotta be done. Between the body, hypocrisy gotta get done. Step in the booth, here we shipping the mic. Spirit got the juice, we don't mix it with Sprite. I've been through storms, I don't conform. No weapon form can stop your boy, I thank the Lord. With the penmanship influenza. Bomb on the devil is my agenda. Covered by the blood, red umbrella. Never go back, no, I won't surrender. Sick with the penmanship influenza. Bomb on the devil is my agenda. Covered by the blood, red umbrella. Never go back, no, I won't surrender. I was knee deep in the trenches. In the trap house, long weapons. Jesus brought me from a deathbed. Told me to tell you, hear the message. You without Christ like day without night. Like trying to win a war, but you kept it up a fight. 215, keep it live, out the grave. We will rise out the mud. We survive, you break the chains, I bring the pain. We're not the same, a different page. Can't touch this MC hammer. I've been in the field, no country grammar. Little bit of love go a long way. I just wanna love you to go away. Don't really care what y'all think. In the middle of the storm, I'm praising Yahweh. With the penmanship influenza. Bomb on the devil is my agenda. Covered by the blood, red umbrella. Never go back, no, I won't surrender. Sick with the penmanship influenza. Bomb on the devil is my agenda. Covered by the blood, red umbrella. Never go back, no, I won't surrender. Nah.
Go crazy. Yeah. Tell me y'all. Yeah. I hit my knees and I tell to Jesus. They tryna blame me cause I'm in the league. I'm really a savage at war with the reaper. That's why I can't hear, can't speak no evil. I hit my knees and I tell to Jesus. They tryna blame me cause I'm in the league. I'm really a savage at war with the reaper. That's why I can't hear, can't speak no. Shh. They cannot see the brand. That boy stripes like zebra skin. They know he ain't playing. I cannot hit with the evil sin. Duck quick, that heater spraying. We make moves like Peterson. We make moves like Peterson. Hey, look, I want the crib with no neighbors. We some guy disabled, but never had cable. Now we pull up in so many promise, they think that we came with the stable. Got it twisted, I'm stuck like a staple. They all out of favor, I'm all out of favors. That's your brother, I hope you ain't able. They turning like tables, I'm just trying to save them. I got it poppin' when I was a youngin'. I jumped off the porch and went got me a Glock. They told me save up my money, go put it in savers. I told them I put it in stocks. Dodging these demons, an everyday mission. Ain't got much, but I give it all that I got. I was 16 when they locked me up behind bars, and now I got bars on lock. I hit my knees and I tell to Jesus. They tryna blame me cause I'm in the league. I'm really a savage at war with the reaper. That's why I can't hear, can't speak no evil. I hit my knees and I tell to Jesus. They tryna ban me cause I'm in the league. I'm really a savage at war with the reaper. That's why I can't hear, can't speak no. Shh. They cannot see the brand. That boy stripes like zebra skin. They know he ain't playing. I cannot hit with the evil sin. Duck quick, that heater spraying. We make moves like Peterson. We make moves like Peterson.
Exactly. Since a little youngin', knew they was framed. Nigga wasn't talking about nothing. Till I get a milli, put in a ceiling. I'ma be pressing the button. Lost in the city of thuggin'. You free to wait till I'm on the front of that money. I never love it, so from the source how it's coming. I got that tat on my stomach. Dropped out of tension, I left out the system, but still fell in prison. I doubted to get it. It's nothing to say how I'm feeling, it is what it is. A lot of you jigger pretending I can't get up with it. I stayed on my loan some, the other I'm spending a ticket. Can't hear, don't speak no evil. I'm still at war with the reaper.
I hit my knees and I tell to Jesus. They tryna ban me cause I'm in the league. I'm really a savage at war with the reaper. That's why I can't hear, can't speak no evil. I hit my knees and I tell to Jesus. They tryna ban me cause I'm in the league. I'm really a savage at war with the reaper. That's why I can't hear, can't speak no. Shh. They cannot see the brand. That boy stripes like zebra skin. They know he ain't playing. I cannot hit with the evil sin. Duck quick, that heater spraying. We make moves like Peterson. We make moves like Peterson.
Exactly.
You're now listening to the best radio station in the world. Rise Up Worldwide Radio.
Listen. Let me tell you something right now. LNF is not playing with this music, bro.
Oh man, I need the gunshots. I ain't got the DJ drops, none of that.
Oh man,
terrible. Yep.
Wait, what was that?
That was a fail. No.
Oh, wait. Somebody got sound effects. All right.
Yeah. We got sound effects. Yeah.
Okay. We in the building.
Preview.
Okay. Yeah. But anyway, so let's get back into this prime coach prime conversation. Um, I think that I think that it's such a weird place, right? Because it's so many angles to this, right? What I really hate to see is we turn on our own so fast, so much so that there were people. There was a video of a woman who was either a student there or staff there at the school. She went to one of the dorms and she was basically defacing a painting of Deion Sanders from the dorm. I hate you. You sell out. A bunch of other explicatives, and she really, really did a number with basically trying to deface what he's done. And a lot of people, they don't care about what he did for the university. Now that he's leaving, and we all do that. Not all of us, but as a community, our community, we are quick to turn on our own for making a decision that isn't the decision we wanted them to make.
Right.
We wanted him to stay. We wanted him to continue the legacy that he built, right? And what he did, listen, he did some major things for that school. Nobody's knocking that. But now that he's going on to greener pastures, it's like, yo, that's what he's supposed to do. In all reality, that's what he's supposed to do. On top of that, he did as much as he could. There was another interview where he spoke about how not only did he coach the players, he got counseling for the parents and the students of the community. He had programs set up to help them earn GEDs and better themselves in the community, help some of the parents get in college. Like you mentioned before, what he did for that homecoming and that against their rival brought in $30 million to the city in one weekend. You know what I mean? That's impact, right? That's impact. And if we could only hope to be able to have impact like what he's doing, right? And then one of the things that I'll say that I really, really learned from Deion this weekend and watching how he's handling this situation is that when you are making decisions and you are making moves, you cannot make your moves based off the opinion of others.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot make decisions based on how other people are going to feel about it and how they're going to react. Because they don't know what plans you have. They don't know what God told you to do. They don't know. They can only see how it affects them. And for 5 minutes, I was one of those people that was pissed off, admittedly. But in hindsight and taking some time to digest the situation and try to understand it from a higher level, he's doing the right thing. And I commend him and thank him for what he did because he's made an impact. So many people could wish they've had the impact that he had in the 2-3 years he was there. Some people wish they could have that level of impact.
Yeah. Like you said, unfortunately, this is what we do, right? You go back to Ice Cube, the contract for Black America. He's literally trying to get, put policies in place, with the help of our current politicians, to really get some things shaking and moving for black folk. And what we do, we call them coon. We love that word. It's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. If somebody do something that you don't agree with, the first thing we go to is coon. Believe what you want about Herschel Walker. I'm sorry, I wouldn't call that man that. Even
the
with
only thing I would say about the Ice Cube thing is that I've seen a monologue of people calling calling. I think it was a radio station or whatever, or a different platform he's on. They would call him and ask him questions about that contract for Black America.
Mm-hmm.
And the only issue I had with him was he would tell them, "Go read it," and I'm like, "No, I'm asking you." Like, okay, let's just say, okay, real. This is a real situation. I've never been to Texas, and I'd be like, "Okay, LNF, how's Texas?" And you gonna tell me, "Go check it out on Wikipedia."
Fly down. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I mean, that's the only thing. I mean, other than that, like, I wouldn't call Ice Cube a coon. Yeah. But what I would say is, if somebody asks you a straight question about the contract for Black America that you conceptualize, well, just answer the question. That's the only.
Was that on Roland Martin?
No, I don't think it was on Roland Martin's platform. I think it was on another platform. I can't recall what it was. But his answer was, "Go read it." And I'm like, "Nah, son, that's not good enough. Mm-hmm. You conceptualize it. The least you can do is give a general synopsis of what it is. Right. You know, in that area of the contract that somebody has a question about. Can't expect people to go, answer the question." Mm-hmm. That was just my take on that. Other than that, I agree with you. Like, 100%. Nah, he's not cool. No way. Nah.
Yep.
I feel like there's more to that, but
Yeah. There's more, of course. Mm-hmm.
So we'll pause on that for a moment. Mm-hmm.
We got some big topics to talk about, man.
We do. But this topic with Deion is so juicy. Like, before we go back to music, I just want to wrap it up, man. Pilar Sanders, which I'm not sure. I'm looking up the relationship. Right, I believe Pilar Sanders is his ex-wife. They were married from 1999 to 2013. Mm-hmm. Had some very cryptic things to say about him transferring. It's cryptic in the sense you don't know exactly what you're talking about, but you can tell she's not happy. She said in the tweet, "I've always said what you do in private, you will eventually do in public. Everything is synergistic. You can't bleed one way in the house and then bleed different way outside the house. Everything is everything, big or small. There's a way to do everything."
Alrighty then.
It's cryptic, but it's definitely not a congratulations.
You said that's his ex-wife, right?
Yes. Yes, the mother of Shadur and Shiloh, his two sons.
Yeah, I'm curious to how their relationship ended.
Well, that sounds like that.
Must be the money.
That sounds like that. Yo D, you got a raise in pay. How about a raise in alimony type? Never mind, forget it.
Wow.
Whoa! Without knowing anything about it, but I'm just saying that just sounds like, yeah.
I think, yeah. I mean, I can't speak for nobody's heart, but I would expect that to be, to be recalculated. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sound like somebody doing something like, okay, he's getting this, he's getting that big house, them incentives. Okay, this is what I think I'm gonna need from going forward. Type
you ain't heard that from me.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm looking up. Right. It's going to be this whole situation with Shiloh. I don't think I think it's going to leave him at a tough place, right? Because it showed that they left on the plane. Shiloh wasn't with them, and Shiloh, his oldest son, had just transferred from the University of South Carolina to Jackson State this year.
Ooh, really?
Now, yes, he had just transferred this year. And one thing I do know is you can't make a lot of transfers in college football. You start losing eligibility, I believe. So
that's a problem.
Shador. So because it said Shador gave up a commitment to Florida Atlantic University and came to Jackson State University, while Shiloh, the older one, transferred from the University of South Carolina.
Okay.
So
okay.
I'm hearing an adult made a choice. Okay.
So you're basically saying the ex-wife could be saying, "Hey, after all that effort that these young men made to come play under you, you just gonna pick up and bounce just like that?"
That's the problem. Because see, to me, this is where I can't agree with it. Because now you are doing something that's going to negatively affect your son, right? That's a hard decision. Because, like, let's be honest, his son transferred from another school to come play for him, and then a year later, now you're going to move. I don't know if he could transfer. We know one son is going with him, but what is the older son going to do? How is that going to affect the situation? And as somebody that I wanted to play college football, I couldn't imagine that my dad being the coach, and then I turn around and now my dad is basically leaving me high and dry. Yes, I'm an adult. Yes, I make adult decisions, but it's different when it's your father. This is not just some adult that I worked with and that I had a working relationship with and we built a connection. This is the person that quite literally raised me. So me coming to you, I'm coming to this program because of you and my brother. Now you're going to pick up and break out? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's I
don't know. I think if somebody gets a better opportunity, they're not beholden to my best interest.
Especially it's not somebody though. Would you leave? You have two sons.
I do. You about to get the answer.
Okay, go ahead.
Bye. Bye. You're a grown man. Okay, I understand. We got our chance to play together. First of all, with an opportunity like this, there's no loss. All right, there's a temporary I don't get to play with my dad. I really wanted to play with my dad. It sounds like he's probably a junior or senior. That's what it sounds like. I'm not sure. But is he gonna be hurting after this? No. There's no loss here. You know what I mean? What if Deion said, and I feel like I did hear him say something about I'm doing this for my kids. What if this is in their fund for when they turn 25 or whatever, and they want to start a business, and they got millions of dollars to do so with now? Listen, you know what I mean? Like,
point well taken.
You upset for now, and the stuff we get upset about in college, you don't even think about that by the time you're in your 30s. You know what I mean? So for me personally, if that was my son, I love you. I'll see you at Christmas. Okay.
And on a much smaller scale, I can identify with that. When I was a teenager living in Brooklyn, going to come out to Long Island in 1986. Like, what? I'm like, shut up and get in the van. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, parents make decisions not based on our emotions. In this case, they made it based on the best interest of the family and what benefits the family. And I can say I did the same thing. We did the same thing with our family. Living in a certain community on Long Island, like in Elmont, and we moved out to Suffolk And he's doing, and my son's doing like, first it's like, oh, my room was bigger in the last place. Oh, I had all these friends. Oh, I missed. I'm like, listen, you're gonna be fine. And so I get it. Like on a much smaller scale, I get it. A lot of times, like Joe just alluded to earlier, too many times people put their emotional feelings in front, and that's and we got to stop doing that. You got to stop, think about what you're doing, analyze, look at the pros and cons, and see if you can, if you will, tolerate the cons in the situation. And if there are more pros and cons, sometimes you got to make that decision to move that direction.
Yeah. So listen, I'm reading more on it, and the last thing, this is the last thing that I'm going to say about this situation, and then we can move on to other topics when we come back. I'm reading up on the speech that he told Colorado, and I'm reading up more about the situation with his son Shiloh. So his son Shiloh hadn't transferred is in the process of transferring to Jackson State, which means he could cancel that transfer and go to Colorado.
Man.
So here's the second part of it.
Okay. Wow.
So the second part of it is he did his opening speech to the Colorado players, and they're rating it one of the worst motivational speeches ever. And here's why. He told the players there to get into the portal because he's bringing his own guys. He's like, we're not going to have any luggage. And if you want anything here, you're going to have to earn it. He said, he was like, speaking about his son, he said, that's your quarterback, but he's going to have to earn it though. So he's saying, listen, Shedeur is your quarterback, but he's going to have to earn it too. He's not giving nobody. He's not giving nobody anything. Everybody's going to have to earn it. Mm-hmm. But he said, love it or hate it, it's definitely an accurate representation of what Sanders has done. They said he actually did the same thing at Jackson State University, and it worked. He's like, but Colorado, he said, that's a different level. Colorado is basically Nebraska Junior. Which, if you know anything about Nebraska, this is going to be one of the biggest rebuild jobs in the nation. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it up. I'm going to leave that, in any case, Lost to Found is going to jump into some music. And of course, when we come back, we're going to continue with the different topics. I want to talk about Kanye West and his comments on Adolf Hitler. And that's how we do it, man. Rise Up Worldwide. Make sure y'all are sharing this stream on your timeline. Make sure you're letting everybody know how they can tune in and listen. And please support us. Help us grow. All you have to do is share the stream on your timeline. It goes wonders. Tell your people, tune in to this, hear this show. Share it, whether you're on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Please share it. Also, if you want to support us financially, Cash App at money sign Joe Boss Radio. Right? It's real simple. Real simple. Please support the show. It will go towards furthering what we do here at Rise Up Worldwide. All right? And let's get to it, man. LNF, take us away.
Yes, sir. We're going to get into this new Dayton civil disobedience right here on Rise Up Worldwide. Check it out.
Menace. Definition. One who represents a threat. A danger. We had to do it one more time. Yo, Dax, you with me?
Sometimes I give myself a pinch to see if this is a dream, cause every inch of me does not wanna believe it's true. The times we're in are interesting. From my timeline, TV to when I flip the station, I'm hit with misinformation. I'm pissed as I witness they been painting a false narrative. This is manipulation, an attempt by Satan to cause a mental glitch to erasing the common sense of man. Our wit has been dissipating. The twisted dissertation turns this to a wicked nation. The media's the puppet, our government is the puppeteer, hired by Satan to hijack your mind and abduct your ears. They gain our trust and steer us into a fuss and fear. So we call on them for help, and when they show up we cheer. But they don't come to help the people distressed. It's not relief, man, this is evil at best. They create these viruses, then offer cures that really weaken the flesh. Then as we're sick, they'll try to take our guns to keep us suppressed. Now think about that. Some mass shootings are orchestrated so they can take our guns, cause in fear we support the changes. They want our kids lazy and fat, and they want to feminize all of our men, so there's no one there to defend the line. That's evil, right? The greedy heathens and Edomites. I'll expose them all, and if they murder Triple D tonight, tell my mama went out like a G in the freedom fight, leading people right into the promised land for Jesus Christ. Doctrine of demons, they gon' teach it to us all till we believe it in our hearts, and that Caesar is our God. Our leaders are just frauds, the demons in the horde, so I team up with the squad and I even up the horde. Like we're stuffed in a Honda, see we in one accord, screaming Jesus is our Lord, and like Peter with the sword, I'll attack, fighting for a freedom that is ours, cause they're treating us like animals that Peter with the scar. This is the Menace mixtape 2. I had to do it one more time. Dax Hammer on the beats. Menace gang, we up in this thing. You're still all welcome to join. We made our way to the front line. You can come meet us there. Yeah. God over money, Menace movement.
Menace.
All celebrities are controlled. You don't see no celebrities talking about the Balenciaga situation, right? So that just shows you all of these celebrities out here, don't let them influence you in any way, because they're controlled by the people who really influence the world. They're not serving God.
They keep trying to cancel me, I don't care nada. I see they exploiting kids just to run up commas. Brands keep going woke, they gon' lose dollars through away Nike. And now I burn Balenciaga. Now I burn Balenciaga. They keep coming for our kids, now we need a father. Designer brands, then they hide. I know hell is hotter through away Nike. And now I burn Balenciaga. If you a Christ, you on my team, you know what I mean. They pushing LGBT on children movie screens. They pushing pedophilia, they sneak it in the scenes. And all these clothing brands be doing the same thing. Balenciaga got caught, now that they fault. I can't support wickedness, I walk a high talk. I know Satan want me to run, but it ain't Marshall fault. I don't care about getting canceled, don't know who you thought. They try promoting cuties, I deleted Netflix. Nike pushing sexuality, so I exit. We hit them in their pockets, they gon' get the message. It's time to build our own up like it's Tetris. Epstein Island, can I see the guest list? We gotta protect the children because they precious. If we don't fight now, what they gon' be left with? Cause it's gon' get worse, just wait for their next trick. They keep trying to cancel me, I don't care nada. I see they exploiting kids just to run up commas. Brands keep going woke, they gon' lose dollars through away Nike. And now I burn Balenciaga. Now I burn Balenciaga. They keep coming for our kids, now we need a father. Designer brands, then they hide. I know hell is hotter through away Nike. And now I burn Balenciaga.
Balenciaga, let me get my 1400 bag. 100 riding teddy bears and they come in drag. You go woke, you go broke, yeah, that's big facts. Now you can't blame Kanye, so you big man. They call it art, but we call it pedophilia. They try to cancel culture, but now we got them fearing us. Supreme Court documents about CP, and not a word from the White House or sleepy. Joe, you know you as a fan. Kyrie just got banned, it's all part of the plan. Are you woke? Companies pulling scams, exploiting all the children, selling them for bands. Are you broke? Now they still blaming Ray J, but me, I'm blaming Kim K. I pray to God every day when I wake up. Every undercover pedo, they gon' have to face us.
They keep trying to cancel me, I don't care nada. I see they exploiting kids just to run up commas. Brands keep going woke, they gon' lose dollars through away Nike. And now I burn Balenciaga. Now I burn Balenciaga. They keep coming for our kids, now we need a father. Designer brands, then they hide. I know hell is hotter through away Nike. And now I burn Balenciaga. Burn Balenciaga. Burn Balenciaga, whoa, whoa. Burn Balenciaga, whoa, whoa. Burn Balenciaga, whoa, whoa. Burn Balenciaga, whoa, whoa.
Listen to the best radio station in the world. Rise Up Worldwide Radio.
Listen, so I gotta give a shout to DJ Lost and Found for playing one of the most fire tracks and lead-in songs that we could have ever played on Rise Up Worldwide, probably in the history of the show.
Wow.
So, if anyone was paying attention to the lyrics of that last song, it was all shots fired.
It was. Shout out to Bryson Gray. That song is actually I think it went viral. It's going viral for him. So shout out to him.
Man. Crazy. So anyway, a couple of things. The Jewish community is about to have a field day, or having a field day with Kanye West, because the things that he's saying is he's really off the wall right now. He's just really and completely off the wall. Like, you know, I will say this, right? Generally, when you think about Kanye West, don't nobody really expect Kanye West to say things that are politically correct anymore, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, I believe Kanye West is the master of trolling. But sometimes he's taking it to the next level.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I mean,
what's some of the things he said?
The latest thing that he said is he said he actually loves Adolf Hitler, and that it's time for the Jewish people to just forgive Hitler and let it go. Which is like, whoa. A person that led to mass genocide. Just let it go. Now, for me, it's not that I am pro-Jewish or anything like that, but I've heard sentiments like that said to African Americans. Oh yeah, slavery was so long ago. Just let it go. Well, it's like, wait, hold on. Yeah, slavery was officially abolished, but there were so many things that happened after that where they basically reinvented it, and we're still going through it today. The incarceration system in the U.S. is the new slavery.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna quickly say, I think what's interesting, like if you look at the staging, I'm talking about like official events in U.S. history, like when Abraham Lincoln abolished slavery in 1865, right? And then you look at the Reconstruction period where they had, you know, the rising up of black politicians, probably from like 1865 to, I don't know, let's just say close to like 1880. So it could be, okay, go, and then they reneged it. If you look at what happened in that time period, you know, you have, you know, some, you know, people in the Senate and all this stuff, and then they just took it back. Like, okay, nope, you're not this esteemed black politician. You're still a slave. You're still, you know, the word that we would use as a term of endearment. They say you're still that. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They reneged it on the show. Put it back. They say basically you're still a nigga. You still a nigga. Instead of that politician, instead of that educated person, instead of that person on the rise with color, they basically took it away, put their foot back on their chest back in that time. So that set up everything from that time to the civil rights era. And of course, that's why we look in America as the African American or the black or the minority, people want to call it, behind on certain things in certain areas, because they never really took their foot off the off the gas when it comes to that, from that time to the civil rights era, you know. And then of course it's still dealing with certain more how can I say, politically correct displays of it in this time, of course. But you know,
LNF, you're eerily quiet.
Because I'm that dude that doesn't go with popular opinion. So I'm gonna give this this little waiver. I think obviously what happened in the Holocaust is absolutely terrible. It's sickening to think of. I remember videos that I've seen of them, you know, pushing dead bodies into like mass graves.
Right.
It should have never happened. And obviously, what Hitler did was appalling. Hitler and the Nazis. Let's say that. It was appalling. It shouldn't have happened. Now that is out the way, what I'll also say is I think a little bit, not all, but a little bit of what Kanye says, I can agree with certain things. Because I think, and because we're talking about a 3-hour interview with Alex Jones on InfoWars.
Of course.
So in 3 hours, there were things that he said that, especially even as a believer, that I think that we should take and we should be able to agree with. One of those things. Well, I'll tell you what I absolutely don't agree with first. He said he loves Hitler. He likes Hitler. Okay. Yeah, I don't really agree with that. Right. And he also said, because I haven't watched the whole thing yet, but he said the Holocaust isn't real. Bro, you bugging. That's crazy. That's crazy to say that. You know what I mean? And then you want Jewish folk to acknowledge the current Holocaust that we have with black babies being murdered. You know what I mean? Let's acknowledge both, because both are happening or have happened. But to where I can say that I agree is where I don't have the quote, but I do believe he was alluding to all human beings have value, right? Or can do some good. And then after that, he went crazy and was like, especially Hitler. Could have left that part out. But as a believer, do we all have value? Are we all made in the image of God? Every last one of us. So that I can get with that. And I think some of that is good, but then he goes off the deep end, which I can't get with. When people are mad that he said that the Nazis did some good stuff, they did, guys. If we want to look back at history, there is ingenuity that happened in that time. The helicopter, I believe, was created by the Nazis, or perfected at least. You look at the Volkswagen Beetle, the Nazis. And this is not necessarily Nazis, but back then they couldn't get Coke because I believe that was an American import. And they made orange Fanta. Y'all Negroes drinking orange soda or what? Like, come on. So if you wanna say that there are portions and part of things that Kanye said that was inaccurate, that was asinine, sure, I agree 100%. But I think as a believer, and then also if you listen to the entire 3 hours, there are things that he says that, yes, these things are true. But my issue is I do feel like overall that we as a society pick and choose little talking points, take that and either mischaracterize it, which I've heard people do, and then and say things that he actually did not say, or you just pick a little part and then that's all you want to talk about. And then, you know, what should I, when people say, and I think people are so scared of cancel culture right now that to say anything in a positive light about Nazis or about Hitler, you're bound to get canceled or something like that, where we have to be honest, guys. Every single thing that Hitler did in his life couldn't have been all bad. Like you're not telling me that dude ain't take the trash out once. That's a good thing to do. Make love to your wife. That's a good thing to do. I don't know if he had kids, I don't remember if he's married and all that. I don't know all that stuff. But we all have a capacity to do good. We as we all have a capacity and also a leaning to do evil. You know what I mean? We're born in sin. So I think people go a little bit hard, and even just to close out real quick, even in my household, I spoke to a couple people, and I said, well, if you say that basically some things are unforgivable, so what are we saying about Jeffrey Dahmer? You know what I mean? I believe he gave his life to Christ at the end of his life, and there's supposed evidence of him doing that. So are we saying when if you see that man in heaven, there's like, how'd you get here? Because if you say that, then you got a major issue when it comes to talking about salvation.
Bless you.
So that's it.
Thank you.
Yeah, and bless you. Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't. It happened so quickly I couldn't hit mute. I think that was a great summation, LNF. It's one of those situations where you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Right.
Right. I can't necessarily, in good conscience, I can't say that Hitler did good things without having specific evidence of it. Because it's hard to imagine somebody that could lead, a Holocaust against people simply really because of their beliefs, right? But also, as a Christian, I can understand, and I am with you when I say that. Should we forgive? Yes, as Christians, we should. Much easier said than done. So to say, can we forgive an Adolf Hitler? We're supposed to, and we should. How hard would that be, especially if I were a part of the Jewish community, or especially if I was a part of the Jewish community and my personal family was affected by this? I'd have a hard time with it, and God would literally have to, mend my heart to do so, right? But as you say, cancel culture now, it's really, cancel culture is mob culture, right? So when the mob is coming at your house, they're not looking for reason. They're not looking to reason with you. They're just looking for a reason to come at you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They're not looking to think about things and come in a better light. You know what I'm saying? They're looking to, something's causing me to sneeze. They're looking to have a reason to take your head off. And now people aren't physically doing it. They're doing it over the internet. And with Kanye, they're doing it in his pockets. By having, the business ventures that he have basically canceled. By having
I think that was on purpose though.
His platforms taken away from him.
I think he wanted that though. I think he wanted out of them deals.
Possibly. But listen, family, everybody tune in right now. Listen, jump in the comments. Let us know how you feel. And listen, if you're really feeling froggy, hey, should we have some call-ins? Maybe not. Now, just jump in the comments. We're just gonna jump in the comments this week.
So
on next season.
Are we going back to this topic?
We can.
All right.
Oh, excuse me. My eyes is watering now. Gosh.
I was just gonna quickly say, is it possible that Kanye is actually challenging the Jewish community in context? Because so many people in this country, dare I say, will say to the African American community, why don't you just move on? Why don't you just forget about all that stuff in the past? And maybe some people might come at me for this, but the one group that we've mentioned that gets a pass on that is the Jewish community. They get to look back and reflect without that notion to say, forget it, move on. But everybody else gets the move on, forget about it. I'm so tired of hearing about what happened in the past of your ethnicity. Maybe that's where he's going with this.
Possibly. You muted.
You muted.
I said that's what it is. When we come back, we're going to continue this conversation. LNF, line us up with some music.
Yes, sir. We're going to get into this Jafia life, the wheat and the tares, right here on Rise Up Worldwide. Be back right after this.
I told Maine, meet me on the hill. Yeah. Hartsville. Check. I grew up west side banging the gas face. It's like God planted good seeds in a bad place. Came up bleeding, still needing a band-aid. Grieving, trading my friends for a fan base. From the same block, repping the same squad. All these raindrops prove you the same God. My tears rolling, proving my heart is broken. Love unspoken, yeah, got me zoned in. Stolen dreams and stolen cars. I know praying hands can turn into a calling card. I was calling my mans up, but I started calling God. Now he in the camera, yeah, now that's a photo bomb. Yeah, I got a couple homies where heaven's gates be. I got a couple exes that never made me. You let it break me so you could elevate me. Always knew you would separate me. Where would I go? Loving you made them hate me for sure. That's for sure. Where would I go? Knew you'd always separate me for sure. That's for sure. So where would I go? Nowhere. We ain't even gotta go there, yeah. God child profiling in his coat here, yeah. True religion, yeah, we reside in God's pocket. I told him I got it, it's like he left a note here, yeah. The letter read, I said I'ma never leave. A tree of life, he gave me a better leaf. A lease on life, playing for heaven's team. Life unspoken, yeah, they already know it. The parable of the wheat and tares, I read to myself to speak back in Jesus' ears. Can't do it myself, need your help, we grieving here. Told me to leave it there, that's something that I need to hear. Yeah, all of my sins with Nate were done innately. All of my sins with Maine, you keep erasing. You let them hate me so I would elevate thee. Always knew you would separate me. Where would I go? Loving you made them hate me for sure. That's for sure. Where would I go? Oh, knew you'd always separate me for sure. That's for sure. So where would I go? Loving you made them hate me for sure. That's for sure. Where would I go? Knew you'd always separate me for sure. That's for sure. So where would I go?
Lately I've been questioning all my decisions. I mean, I thought I knew my purpose, maybe I was tripping. Was too ambitious, thought I'd make it off of rap lyrics. Trying to figure, is this God or just a bad spirit? Can't nobody draw your path, you gotta make your own. I got some brothers in the streets, I pray they make it home. My little cousin in the Bay, he said he feel alone. I feel my circle getting smaller, more I'm getting grown. Share my peace, family secrets is wearing me. Uncle told me that the liquor is his therapy. Bad advice, at least it seemed he got some clarity. We all got issues, less I'm talking with some Pharisees. You live and learn, honestly trying to learn and live. We was making house calls but had to share the crib. We was taught to share the plate but ain't had much to give.
We was told to chase your dream, nobody made it big. If I'm honest, the pressure almost had your boy quit. If I'm honest, yeah, them words hurt me way more than them sticks. If I'm honest. Yeah. Lady had a baby, I was 17. Couldn't leave her on her own and choose to flee the scene. Couldn't turn into my dad, though it was inconvenient. Had to stand on every word and had to really mean it. Y'all ain't real, y'all ain't really about that stuff you talk. Ain't had no car to get to work, I had to really walk. Taking all them shortcuts, the end is just as far. I've been competing with myself and I just set the bar. Ain't nobody give you flowers, go and grow a garden. They won't open up the door to make them beg your pardon. All that petty talking down, that just made me go harder. I could never seek revenge, I'm just gonna wait on karma. If I'm honest, sometimes I wanna take the love back. If I'm honest, they throwing rocks, I never throw them back. If I'm honest.
You're now listening to the best radio station in the world. Rise Up Worldwide Radio.
Y'all know what it is. Rise Up Worldwide. Listen, man, we had some great conversations. We had some great topics. And listen, I'm telling y'all right now, if you just tuning in, you're missing a great show. Just tuning in, you're missing a great show. And man, oh man. Listen, this is how we doing it, man. This is how we're gonna do a couple of things. We're gonna continue talking about West, and then we're gonna also discuss a couple of other things, such as the arrest on Shanquella Robinson's death, and we'll continue like that, man. We only got a few minutes left in the show, but we want to make sure that we maximize our time. So, Kanye West, man, he's just on a tear. Like, you know, they said that he recently went on a dinner date with Trump and Nick Fuentes. And I was completely unfamiliar with Nick Fuentes until people showed me some tweets. He is a far right.
I think it's fair to say neo-Nazi. I don't think most people knew that.
I didn't know that either.
Mm-hmm. But I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, definitely a neo-Nazi for sure. He basically denounces racism as if it doesn't exist anymore. It was so many things that he's saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
So many things he's saying, and somebody put, in the comments, why is everybody paying our pain, but no one else's pain is, but our pain is no one else's? Like, we got to take on the pain of the Jews. We got to take on the pain of the LGBT community. We got to take on the pain of everybody else. But don't nobody come to our rescue. Don't nobody come to say, you know what, let me take on the pain of what you guys have going on. Right? We have our own Kanye West.
So that's when we're gonna that's where we're not gonna agree.
That's okay. That's okay. That's why I love you. Because you give me perspective from the other side. That's what I love you. That's what I love you for, bro. You know what I'm saying? And
wait, what's the other side though? What's the other side? What's the label?
You, I don't know. You tell me, because you clearly said you have to disagree. So I need to hear if you disagree. You have a different opinion. That's the other side. What that looks like, I don't know.
Truth seeker. I'm a truth seeker all the way around. Anybody can get it. If you're wrong, you're wrong. I don't care if you're my people or not. Basically, that's it. That's my position.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Admittedly, when it comes to me, I'm a truth seeker, but I'm also, I can say, admittedly, I'm very pro-black. You know,
Yeah.
and and honestly, I feel like I have to be because there's not a lot of people that try to stand up for us and not tear down other people. I'm not about tearing down anyone that's not black, right? I'm not gonna sit here and say people you're not black enough. I'm not gonna say that any culture is inferior to ours. I would never say anything like that. But I do feel like I have to be an advocate for our people. One, to educate ourselves and to pull ourselves up, right? And not necessarily depend on other people to do it for us, right? Not take handouts, right? Create our own opportunities to shop with our own people.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? These are the things that I am about, so, this just my thoughts. Just my thoughts.
Got you. Got you. Yeah. So I mean, when it comes to you talking about Kanye West, and it comes to our people, I'm trying to think of some of the things he said. So slavery was a choice. I know people got mad about that. I would love for us to make sure that we're listening to what he said in context, because I think that some of the stuff that he says gets lost. Like, for example, when he was crying about abortion, people was laughing about him and talking about him back then. When he's talking about this is years ago when he was like wearing an army fatigue bulletproof vest years ago. People was laughing about him because he started crying on stage talking about abortion and how I think his first daughter almost got aborted. Northwest almost got was the option for abortion. But people laughed at him or whatever until I guess later on they found out that that's why. I mean, and then you now years later you listen to him. That's a strong thing for him. Like, that's a strong position about abortion. He feels very strongly about that, as I think we all should, right? So I think with Kanye, yes, there's and I'm not even sure what to classify it because I don't personally believe that he has a mental disorder. I think he's mentally sound, but I think that there's other things that's like you talking about the troll. There's some of that's in there that's in him. I think he's not articulate. You know what I mean? In the sense of not that he's not smart, but just getting his point across in a manner where everybody can understand. But I think the crazy label. I think we really need to look at that again. You know what I mean? Re-examine that because when you because all of this stuff coming out, right? So let's just think about real quick his personal trainer. I wish I remember the man's name, but I believe he was like a Navy SEAL, right? He was trained in like brainwashing people. This is the dude who texted him and was like, "If you don't stop acting up, I'm gonna send you back to Zombie Land." You know what I mean? So, and Kanye has come out and said that this dude took him to the medical facility where he got diagnosed with the bipolar disorder. And what he said is that he's not bipolar, is that he was severely basically tired, basically, because he had been touring too much. So I think there's so much, and Kanye gives you way too much to focus on because it's all over the place. But I think overall, I think we pick and choose and look at little aspects, and things that ignite, our passion, and then we just push everything else to the side. Last thing I'll say, to bring it all back to slavery was a choice. When I think about the the context of what he was saying. When I think about the context of what he's saying, I don't think, and I would love to go back and listen again, but I don't think he was thinking about the person who was enslaved. I think he was talking about black folks who enslaved other blacks. I think that's what he was talking about.
Right.
That's a choice. And I finally saw Woman King. Woman King, I didn't even finish that mess. I didn't even finish it. But I
You
think
didn't
that's
finish
what
it?
he was.
You walked out the
I did
theater?
not. No. I rented it at home. I rented it at home.
Okay. Okay.
I wasn't going to no theater to see that. I'm not going to see Black Panther theater. No. That's Disney Plus. No, we're not paying for that. No, absolutely not. But with Woman King, I'm sorry, nah. I'm sorry, no. I can't. It wasn't believable. You got women
What
fighting men, and
Woman King wasn't believable.
no.
Okay.
It took me out of it. The first scene, the opening scene where they kill a whole group of dudes. No, I'm sorry. It's just physical. Like, I'm not saying that women can't beat men. Obviously, I would not mess with some ladies out there, UFC fighters, all of that. I would not do it. Right? I wouldn't mess with my own wife. She got hands. But
she's an athlete, right?
yeah, she is. She is. Yeah.
Right.
But
right. I remember. I think you
I'm
said
not.
that she's a runner.
She's a runner. Yeah, she's a runner.
Right.
Yep. So I'm just saying it was not believable that grown men was getting tossed around like rag dolls by women who was half their size. I'm sorry, that's just me. I'm a stickler for that. You know, I'm a stickler for that. Spoilers: Black Panther. Shuri got stabbed in the stomach. Killmonger died the same way. Why does she live? It doesn't make sense. But this is I'm on my Kanye all over the place.
Killmonger got stabbed in the chest.
He did. She got stabbed through the stomach.
Different injuries. This
is Wakanda.
Exactly.
Deadly bullet wound doesn't mean I die.
It's movies. It ain't supposed to be real life.
No, it's
if you want it to be real life, go watch a documentary. Go on Discovery Channel.
Well, Woman King was advertised as based on a true story. So
everything is based. Based doesn't mean factual.
It's not based on a true story. No, it's not.
It is based. It's based on the fact that the Dahomey tribe and all of that happened. Now, it doesn't mean that it happened the way they depicted it, but it did happen. They were part of the tribe that sold slaves to the Europeans. They did have, they were a tribe. Whether they had the tribe of women and all of that, I don't know. Possibly. But
okay.
That's supposedly where the Dora Milaje came in Black Panther, was from them.
The Amazon, yeah. So I'm gonna make a movie.
It's based on that.
I'm gonna make a movie. I think it's a hit. It's about this revolutionary who is leading up to his death in the 60s. I'm gonna call it MLK, and the lead is gonna be Chinese. Let's do it. I think we got a hit. Based on a true story. Based on a true story.
Then it would just be science fiction. Just like Black Panther is science fiction.
Woman King is fiction.
Yeah, it's fiction.
It's not based on a true story.
No.
I can't give you a MLK movie where MLK is Asian and be like, that's based on a true story.
No, that's way
in today's time, the way they're putting different people in different ethnicities and different roles, don't be surprised if that happens.
Oh, they've been doing that.
Then they switching your gender nowadays. Like, bro, they doing anything in movies. I ain't saying I'm with it.
Your screen went dark. Like, what's he talking about?
I ain't with it.
Well, that for me, it depends on what we talking about. We talking about fiction? Are we talking about a comic book movie? Or are we talking about, you want a
documentary, but they're not. They're movies they took factual information and telling a different story based on they're taking real history and retelling a story, which is which is basically U.S. history.
So then you have to say it's retelling.
Bars.
It's a retelling. Well, that's true.
Bars.
But it's a retelling. Then it's not. It's not based on a true story. It's a retelling.
Well, that's the same thing. I could tell you a whole story about my life and not tell you the truth. It's wordplay. You know what I mean? That movies are basically lyricism.
Nah, I'm good.
So, do you give the same criticism on DC?
Yeah.
Because I know you're a big DC fan. So how'd you feel about Black Adam?
Mediocre. That was mediocre.
That's about the second best DC movie next to
you're blasphemous now. You're blasphemous.
Next to the Justice League
was a little slow. I thought Black Adam was a little slow for my taste, like as far as like pace of movie.
They had to completely introduce a new character. So the first one is going to be a little slow. But they had to completely introduce him. He wasn't featured in any other DC movie. He didn't have any history in DC, no interaction with anyone else. They had to basically pull him out of thin air, tell his story, have a plot line. They introduced like 5 characters in that movie that hadn't been in any other movie.
So
right. You might be saying the movie's terrible. It wasn't terrible. It was it was just slow. You know.
But you brought that up over the Batman. That was this year.
Oh my God! Don't get me started talking about the Batman. Cause me and my son, we get into it. I'm like, I don't even like that Batman. He was like, oh, you don't understand that. You don't understand. But I didn't like it. But
I thought the Batman was terrible.
I thought it was horrible. Trash.
It was terrible.
It was terrible.
Hot
garbage.
It was terrible.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But you like
that's what I think.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
But you like Avengers Endgame.
I loved it.
Doctor Strange was fire. My son actually introduced me to it because at first I didn't like. I'm like, this is trash.
Thank you.
And then like halfway through the movie, I'm like, oh my God, this movie's fire. I like this. Woo! I love it. I like Doctor Strange.
Scarlet Witch made that movie.
They had a little DJ battle and that worked for y'all. I'm just saying, our standards is low. The Batman was bad, but I can't do it. I can't do it.
So you thought the Batman was good?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah.
We're not watching the same game, bro. I'm sorry.
And I thought Doctor Strange is one of the worst Marvel movies I've ever seen. The second one, first Doctor Strange is amazing to me. Top 5.
That's what I'm talking about.
Marvel movie.
Yeah, the first Doctor Strange I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the first one? Yeah, the second one I think is absolute garbage. Garbage.
Nah, I thought it was better.
Garbage. She took out the whole Illuminati in 2 minutes. The most powerful is supposed to be in the universe, and she took him out.
Scarlet Witch is one of the most powerful in the universe, but her power grew over time. Because if you watch Endgame, she could have beat Thanos by herself.
Who's the most powerful Avenger? According to Kevin Feige.
Oh, I couldn't tell you according to Kevin Feige, but I would say Scarlet Witch is there.
The most powerful is Captain
Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm. She's up there.
Black Captain Marvel was in that movie, and she got obliterated. She got crushed with a stone.
But she was competing.
No, bro.
With them, she was with it.
Why was the black one can get decimated in 2 seconds? The other one flying through ships.
They always kill the black ones off first.
Man.
No. Don't you know that's a movie?
No.
Bro, that's a movie rule. They have to kill the black person.
I know you don't like it, man, but that's what it is.
No, I mean I don't like Marvel in general anymore, but for me, make it make sense. You say one is the strongest Avenger, the strongest, and the other one here for 2 minutes, and she got smacked up against the wall and got crushed.
Listen,
I'm not seeing how that works.
They killed a bunch of people. They killed Professor Xavier, They killed Reed Richards. They killed
Yeah.
the female Captain America. Bro,
That's another
the
issue.
whole point is she killed off everybody to show how powerful Scarlet Witch really is.
Nah, I know how powerful she is. I know from the comics. I know, but Marvel doesn't. They don't keep it consistent. That's my issue. They don't keep it consistent.
And DC does.
Why you finding a fly in the ointment with Marvel, man? Come on.
No, I don't like. I don't like Marvel. It is what it is. I don't like Marvel. I like DC. If we're talking about back when Zack Snyder was there, that's my DC. Now the stuff that they got on,
I don't run deep in the animation like y'all do. You know, but
okay.
You know, I just enjoy it probably on a high level without digging too deep. Somebody's probably gonna beat me down from the old school, but I mean the one brand I can never really get with when it comes to stuff like that is Star Wars. That's Star Wars and Star Trek. I'm just never really been.
You don't like Star Wars
and Star Trek. Star Wars and Star Trek is two I can never really get with.
I've never been big on Star Wars. I like the episode 7, I think it is. I like that one, but after that, yeah, and the old ones, nah, it's just not for me. Not for me.
I'm not surprised that you don't like them, LNF, because they're not based on a real story. That's they're not documentaries.
Wow. I got the power, over here, right?
But Black Panther.
Black Panther? You right? Black
Panther. I didn't say panda. Black Panther is, bro. The movie was amazing, bro. Like, I've heard a few people that say it wasn't a good movie based on the fact that it wasn't better than the first in some opinions, right? And I can live with that. If you could say that it's not as good as the first one, okay, cool. But to say it's not a good movie, I can't even agree with that at all. I can see what some people may not say it was as good as the first, right? Because the first one, it was a complete introduction into the whole Black Panther Wakanda world. The second one was a deeper dive, and it introduced another new world, which is basically the Mayan culture, right? And Wakanda is what they would call Afrofuturism, and now Talokan would be like a Latin futurism, right? Or like a Latinx futurism, right? I don't know if that's the correct term. Please forgive me for those who know what the correct term is, but you feel what I'm trying to say. And the fact that the main character died in real life, and they still made it a great movie. Now, certain things, after we spoke about it a few weeks ago, I don't like the fact that most everybody died off in Black Panther. I don't like that either. But it's still a great movie, right? Woman King.
You said movie of the year back then.
I still think it's one of the best movies of the year. I do. My opinion has not changed. And the reason it has not changed is because I think it was a great story. I think the acting by Viola Davis was impeccable, because I before the movie I didn't know how she was going to play a character that was actually fighting and doing physical work, but she played it very well. Now, some of the other characters.
I like one of the other characters I like. I don't know the names and everything, but there was like the right hand, the one that was her right hand.
Yes.
That was my favorite character. I'm like, yo, who is this?
The one that died?
Like in the movie, huh?
The one that died?
Yeah, she was my absolute favorite.
LaShonda,
and I'm not even saying Viola wasn't fantastic, because she absolutely was.
She was the Black Captain Marvel.
Yo, Black Captain,
and she was
in James Bond. Yeah,
she was spectacular. and then the young girl did her thing too. So those two actually kind of took my attention away from Viola because of the respect for their craft that they demanded on screen, and I think that's what made the movie, even better than it was. Not just because Viola was in the movie, but those other two really, really did something to the movie as far as I'm concerned. So and it just and to me it just solidifies and it kind of reminds me how the black woman in entertainment is dominating and how they're doing their thing, how they're doing major damage on and off screen with the writing, the producing, the directing, and of course on screen. But they're doing amazing things.
Yeah, 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 man. Listen, uh, we are well over time. We are actually a few minutes past our 2 hour mark. Um, but I do want to acknowledge the fact of the Shanquella Robinson's death. They actually have made an arrest. They have made an arrest for a woman named Dejanay Jackson, who's arrested with in connection with the death of Shanquella Robinson, and she was actually extradited to Mexico. So
wow, and they made it happen just like that, huh?
that's what the rumor mill is.
That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. It needed to happen. It needed to happen. Um,
I'm hearing. I think I heard Winter Donovan, one of the other girls, at least made a statement. I don't know if she's turned herself in, but I think she actually made a statement. And sorry, I don't have that statement ready, but yeah, it's. I think that's finally coming to a close. This case. You know.
We will see. We will see.
Prayers to the family, man.
Yeah. So listen, family. I want to say thank you all for rocking with us this season. It's been a great honor to rock with you all to end out on episode 290. When we come back in January, we're gonna have some new things ahead. We're gonna have a new look. We're gonna have a lot more things to interact with. Um, we're gonna be basically a rebrand and almost a relaunch of Rise Up to put us into a new stratosphere, to bring us closer to you. We're gonna start having some exclusive content that you will have to subscribe in order to receive, and you will be able to continue to grow and continue to rock with us. All right. Um, as the leader of Rise Up, man, it's been an honor to work with to work with these brothers here, with DJ Mr. C. Thank you for all that you do with your mixes, with your professionalism.
Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you,
thank
DJ
you for allowing me to rock
LNF.
with the Rise Up Worldwide, universe.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, DJ LNF, for officially coming back to the team. It's always good when you have family that moves away that decide to come back and rock with you. You know what I mean? So we appreciate what you bring to the table. We appreciate your professionalism, and we know we're going to grow because of both of you.
Absolutely.
I want to give a big shout to Randy Bazil of Bazil Designs. He's the one that keeps the show looking fresh, with the graphic designs, with the backgrounds that you see. As you can see, he updated our logo from what it was originally to what it is now. And continue to, look him up, Bazil Designs on social media, and holla at him. And also, big shout to Chef Rock. Um, he's leading us for our topics. I think he has a knack for journalism that he's got to tap into. He's a chef by trade. In real life, we don't just call him that. And we pray that he continues to bless us the way he has with the way he brings ministry into each and every situation is amazing. The way he can kind of give a perspective on things is amazing. Um, and just brings so much personality to the show. You know what I mean? So we appreciate you, Chef, for all that you do for us as well. Um, and to the family, to everybody that's not a part of the show, that is still supportive of us, to each, excuse me, to our individual wives, girlfriends, family, children, listeners, supporters, everybody that rocks with us. Thank you. Thank you for rocking with us for this long and this many years. We've been doing it and going strong since 2016. And here we are, 2022, about to go into 2023 and approaching 300 episodes. Man, God is doing some amazing things with us. And we know that in the coming year, we're going to see new heights, higher heights, deeper depths, as they say in the church realm, So we just thank God for all of it. All right. So we will see you next year. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, Happy Hanukkah, Happy everything else. You know what I mean? We appreciate it. We appreciate it. We appreciate you all. If anybody else want to say anything before we end out?
I'll say this, man. I'm honored to be able to come back to the show. This is where I started. I mean, y'all know in the CHH space, I started off as just a fan, and Joe opened the door, along with Prophet Link back then. Back in 2018, I think that was, man. So it'd be a long way from there. A lot of things have changed as far as like technology and stuff, and I'm really excited what we can do to the show and bring to the show. So yeah, man, I really believe in the Rise Up brand. Have believed in the Rise Up brand since I've been a part, and since I even was just a fan. You know what I mean? So that's where it all started. So honored to be here, bro, and I'm so glad that we were able to reunite. You know what I mean? Because we already had behind the scenes relationship, but on screen that people are actually able to see.
Yeah.
So
for sure. And Mr. C?
Yes, sir. I can say wholeheartedly that the main host of this platform, Joe Boss, is a man of integrity, and he has a good heart, and that's why I believe God is perpetuating this platform to new heights and new levels, because it does, we see things visually and we hear things visually, but it starts with the character of the person or the people behind this thing. And again, I'm blessed to be a part of it, and I'm blessed to be that have the integrity, that God-centered integrity, and because of that, I believe there's growth and there's fruit. And again, I'm really glad to be a part of it, and look forward to seeing, where Rise Up goes, from here.
Appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. Well, there it is. There it is. Family, we thank you. We will see y'all next year. Same bat time, same bat channel, with brand new looks, brand new features, brand new content. Listen, it's going down. I'm excited, and I will see you then. God bless. Have a good evening. Have a good day. Have a good morning. Whenever you hear the playback of the show. We love y'all. Peace.
You're now listening to the best radio station in the world. Rise Up Worldwide Radio.